Lily Morgan was tired. Her feet hurt after 12 hours of working at City Hospital. The night shift always drained her. She looked at her watch. It was almost midnight. The bus had already left and the next one would not come for an hour. I'll take the shortcut through Redwood Park, she decided, pulling her jacket closer against the cool night air. The park was empty and dark. Only a few lamps lit the path between the tall trees. Lily walked fast, thinking about her warm bed waiting at home. The sound of crickets and the soft rustle of leaves filled the night. Then, without warning, the sky lit up. A bright flash of blue light turned night into day for 3 seconds. Lily stopped, her heart racing. A loud boom shook the ground under her feet. Something had crashed in the woods ahead. Most people would run away from such a thing. Lily ran toward it. Maybe someone was hurt. As a nurse, she could not ignore that. She pushed through bushes and jumped over fallen branches. The smell of burned wood and strange chemicals filled the air. Ahead, a small crater smoked in a clearing. In the middle of it lay something Lily had never seen before. It looked almost human, but not quite. The being was tall and thin, with skin that changed colors like an octopus. Right now it glowed a soft blue with patches of purple. The stranger had 3 eyes arranged in a triangle on its face. All 3 were closed in pain. A tear in its silvery suit revealed a deep cut across its stomach. A glowing liquid that looked like melted gold leaked from the wound. Lily should have been terrified. Instead, she felt her nurse training kick in. Something was hurt. That was all that mattered. "Hello?" she called softly, stepping closer. "I won't hurt you. I want to help." The being's eyes snapped open. They were deep purple with no pupils. For a long moment it stared at Lily without moving. Then it tried to sit up and fell back with a sound like breaking glass. "Please stay still," Lily said, coming closer. "You're hurt." To her surprise, the creature spoke. Its voice sounded like water running over stones, musical but strange. "Assistance required," it said in halting English. "Pursuers coming." Lily knelt beside the alien. Up close, she could see that its skin had tiny scales that shifted and caught the moonlight. The wound was worse than she'd thought. The golden blood pulsed out with each breath the creature took. "I'm a nurse," Lily explained, pulling out the small medical kit she always carried. "I'll try to stop the bleeding." The alien watched as Lily cleaned the wound with antiseptic wipes. She had no idea if human medicine would work on an alien, but she had to try something. The glowing blood seemed to slow when she applied pressure. "My name is Lily," she said as she worked, trying to keep the being calm. "What's your name?" The alien touched a small device on its wrist. A soft hum filled the air. "I am Zaravex," the alien said, its English suddenly perfect through the translation device. "Sovereign Empress of the Arcturian Dominion, ruler of the 17 systems, guardian of the eternal flame." Lily blinked. "That's quite a title. On your world you might call me a queen," Zaravex explained. Her voice sounded pained. "A queen who will die if found by those who hunt her." In the distance, sirens wailed. Someone must have seen the crash and called the police. Lily made a quick decision. "Can you walk? My apartment isn't far. We can hide there until you're better." Zaravex's eyes studied Lily's face. "Why would you help me? You know nothing of me or my kind." Lily shrugged as she helped the alien to stand. "You're hurt. Helping is what humans do. At least it's what we should do." Together they moved slowly away from the crash site. Zaravex was surprisingly light, as if her bones were hollow like a bird's. They stuck to the shadows, avoiding the flashlight beams that now swept through the trees as search parties arrived. "My ship," Zaravex said weakly, looking back. "We can't worry about that now," Lily replied. "We need to get you somewhere safe." What Lily didn't know was that they were being watched. From the shadows of the trees, a figure in a black uniform raised a communication device. "Target found," the figure whispered. "The Empress lives, and she has made contact with a local." Miles above Earth, hidden behind the moon, a massive ship received the message. Its commander, a creature with red scales and 4 arms, smiled to reveal rows of sharp teeth. "Perfect," Commander Vexlar said. "The trap is set. The human will lead us right to her." Back on Earth, Lily and Zaravex reached the edge of the park. The alien leaned heavily on the nurse, her golden blood still seeping through the makeshift bandage. "My people will search for me," Zaravex said. "Both allies and enemies. Your world is now in danger because of me." Lily helped her across the street, staying in the shadows. "Let's worry about keeping you alive first. Then we can figure out the rest." As they walked, Zaravex's skin color shifted to match the darkness around them, making them harder to spot. It was a useful trick, Lily thought. Your kindness is unexpected, the alien queen said softly. In my world, strangers do not help each other without wanting something in return. Well, Lily said with a small smile. Welcome to Earth, we're full of surprises. They reached Lily's small apartment building without being seen. As they climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor, Zaravex suddenly stopped. You should know, she said, her 3 eyes looking deeply into Lily's, that I am the most valuable being in 17 star systems. My blood contains elements unknown to your science. Whoever controls me controls the future of the galaxy. Lily unlocked her apartment door. Right now you're just my patient. Everything else can wait until morning. As they entered the small apartment, neither woman noticed the black car that pulled up across the street. Inside sat Agent Diane Foster speaking quietly into a secure phone. Yes, sir. Confirmed alien contact. The subject appears injured. A civilian is helping it. She paused, listening. No, sir. I don't recommend immediate intervention. Let's see where this goes. The civilian might lead us to others. She hung up and settled in to watch the apartment. This was going to be a long night, the first of many in a war that was about to come to Earth. Inside, Lily helped Zaravex to the couch. The alien queen looked around the small living room with curiosity. Is this a royal palace? She asked. Lily laughed for the first time that night. Hardly, it's just a 1-bedroom apartment. But it's home. As she went to get more first aid supplies, Lily wondered what she had gotten herself into. But she didn't regret helping the alien queen. Something told her that this night was just the beginning of a much bigger story. She was right. The universe had just changed forever, all because of a simple act of kindness from a tired nurse on her way home. 2 weeks passed since Lily brought Zaravex to her apartment. The alien queen stayed in Lily's spare bedroom, which was really just a small office with a fold-out couch. The wound on her stomach was healing quickly. Alien bodies, it seemed, could fix themselves faster than human ones. Every day after her hospital shift, Lily would check on Zaravex's injury. The golden blood had stopped flowing, and the cut was now just a thin line across her iridescent skin. Your medicine is primitive but effective, Zaravex said one evening as Lily changed the bandages. The alien sat very still, her 3 eyes watching Lily's hands work. On my world, such wounds would heal in hours with proper care. Sorry we don't have alien super medicine, Lily joked. She had gotten more comfortable around the strange being. At first, she had been nervous every time those 3 purple eyes looked at her. Now it seemed almost normal. Zaravex touched a hidden pocket in her silver suit and pulled out a small vial of glowing blue liquid. This will complete my healing. I saved it until I was certain my body had fought off any infections from your world. She drank the liquid and her skin glowed brighter for a moment. Lily watched in amazement. That's incredible, she said. Our scientist would love to study your medicine. Your scientist would want more than my medicine, Zaravex replied darkly. They would want me, as do many across the stars. Over the past 2 weeks, the alien queen had shared bits and pieces of her story. The Arcturian Dominion, her kingdom, was fighting a war against the Kelthid Imperium, a race of conquerors led by a cruel emperor. Zaravex had been on a secret mission when her ship was attacked. She escaped in a small vessel, but it was damaged and crashed on Earth. Why are the Kelthid so interested in catching you? Lily asked, putting away her medical supplies. I mean, besides you being their enemy's queen. Zaravex stood and walked to the window. She looked up at the night sky, at stars that to her represented not just distant lights, but places she had been. My blood, she said simply. The Arcturian royal bloodline carries elements not found anywhere else in the known galaxy. These elements can be used to create weapons of great power, or energy sources that never run out. She turned to look at Lily. Whoever controls me controls the future. Lily frowned. You're not something to be controlled. You're a person, not to them. Zaravex's skin darkened to a deep blue, which Lily had learned meant she was sad. To them, I am a resource, a prize to be won. That night, Lily had trouble sleeping. She kept thinking about Zaravex's words. The idea that there were alien races fighting over her guest was terrifying. What if they came to Earth looking for her? What danger had Lily brought to her home by helping the alien queen? Around 3 in the morning, she heard a soft noise from the spare room. Lily got up and knocked gently on the door. Zaravex, are you okay? There was no answer. Lily pushed the door open. The room was empty. The window was open, curtains moving in the night breeze. No, 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 Lily whispered. Had Zarovex left? Or had someone taken her? She rushed around the apartment looking for any sign of what had happened. In the living room, she found her answer. The TV was on, showing a news report about strange lights seen over the desert 50 miles away. The reporter was talking about possible meteor showers, but Lily knew better. On her pillow, she found a small crystal device that hadn't been there before. When she picked it up, it glowed in her hand. A holographic map appeared above it, showing the desert and a blinking red dot. She wants me to follow, Lily realized. Before she could decide what to do, there was a knock at her door. It was 4 a.m. No one should be visiting at this hour. Lily approached the door carefully and looked through the peephole. A woman in a black suit stood outside. She had short brown hair and a serious expression. Lily Morgan? The woman called through the door. My name is Agent Diane Foster. We need to talk about your visitor. Lily's heart raced. How did this person know about Zarovex? She didn't open the door. I don't know what you're talking about, she called back. Ms. Morgan, I'm with a government agency that monitors unusual activity. 2 weeks ago, something crashed in Redwood Park. You were seen leaving the area with an unidentified being. Please open the door. This is a matter of national security. Lily's mind raced. She could deny everything, but this Agent Foster seemed to know too much already. And if she was from the government, she probably had ways to get in whether Lily opened the door or not. Slowly, Lily unlocked the door and opened it just enough to see the woman's face. May I see some ID? Lily asked. Agent Foster held up a badge. It looked official, with a symbol Lily didn't recognize. May I come in? The agent asked. Lily stepped back, letting the woman enter. Agent Foster looked around the apartment, her eyes lingering on the news report still playing on the TV. Where is she? Foster asked. Who? The alien you've been hiding. The one you helped after the crash. Lily considered lying, but decided against it. She's gone. She left tonight. Foster's expression changed from stern to worried. That's not good. Not good at all. She pointed to the TV. Those lights in the desert? That's not a meteor shower. 3 different alien ships have entered Earth's atmosphere in the last hour. They're looking for her. Lily's hand tightened around the crystal map in her pocket. How do you know all this? Because my agency has been monitoring deep space communications for decades. We picked up transmissions about an Arcturian royal being stranded on Earth. Then we traced the crash site and found you. Foster sat down on Lily's couch without being invited. Look, I'm not here to arrest you or anything. I'm here because we have a serious problem. What kind of problem? The kind where Earth becomes a battlefield in someone else's war. Foster's voice was grim. We've detected a Keltid warship in orbit around the moon, and 2 Arcturian vessels hiding behind Mars. They're all coming here looking for your friend. Lily's mouth went dry. How do you know these names? Keltid, Arcturian? We've been listening to the stars for a long time, Ms. Morgan. We know more than most people think. Foster leaned forward. Your alien friend. Did she leave you any way to contact her? Any way to find her? Lily thought about the crystal map in her pocket. Should she trust this woman? What if Agent Foster wanted to capture Zarovex just like the Keltid did? No, Lily lied. She just left. Foster studied Lily's face. I think you're not telling me everything. But that's okay. We don't have time to argue. She stood up. Get dressed and pack a bag. We need to leave. Leave? Where are we going? Somewhere safe. The Keltid have technology that can track Arcturian DNA. If your friend was here for 2 weeks, this place isn't safe anymore. They'll come looking. As if to prove her point, the lights in the apartment flickered. Outside, the streetlights went dark one by one. They're here, Foster said, drawing a gun from inside her jacket. We need to go. Now. Lily ran to her bedroom and quickly threw some clothes and her medical kit into a backpack. Her hand touched the crystal map again. Whatever was happening, she knew she needed to find Zarovex. The alien queen had trusted her. Now Lily had to trust her back. When she returned to the living room, Foster was looking out the window. The street below was dark and empty. Cars out back, Foster said. Stay close to me. They slipped out the back door of the apartment building and into a black SUV parked in the alley. As Foster started the engine, Lily looked back at her apartment building. For a second, she thought she saw a figure on the roof. something tall and thin with red scales gleaming in the moonlight. The SUV sped away into the night, heading west, toward the desert, toward the blinking red dot on Zarovex's map. "Where exactly are we going?" Lily asked. Foster kept her eyes on the road. "Somewhere we can talk freely. My agency has a safe house about an hour from here." Lily nodded but said nothing. She didn't plan to go to any safe house. Somehow she needed to get away from Foster and find Zarovex on her own. The alien queen had trusted her, not the government. As they drove through the dark city streets, Lily couldn't help wondering what she had gotten herself into. 2 weeks ago, she was just a normal nurse. Now she was running from aliens and government agents carrying a map to an alien queen who might be the most valuable being in the galaxy. Life would never be the same again. And deep down, despite her fear, Lily felt a thrill of excitement. The universe was bigger and stranger than she had ever imagined. And somehow she was now part of it. The black SUV sped through the night. Lily watched the city lights fade behind them as they headed into the desert. Agent Foster drove fast, checking the mirrors often. "Are we being followed?" Lily asked. "Not yet, but they'll track us soon enough." Foster's face was tight with worry. "The Kelthid have technology that can detect Arcturian DNA from miles away. You spent 2 weeks with the Queen. Her cells are on your clothes, your skin, everything you touched." Lily thought about the crystal map hidden in her pocket. The red dot was in the desert, the same direction they were heading. Was it just luck, or did Foster know more than she was saying? After an hour of driving, Foster turned onto a dirt road that wound between large rock formations. The SUV bounced over the rough ground. "Almost there," Foster said, but Lily had made a decision. She needed to find Zarovex, and she couldn't trust Foster completely. "I need to use the bathroom," she said suddenly. "Can we stop?" Foster frowned but pulled over next to a large boulder. "Make it quick. We're not safe out here." When Lily stepped out of the car, the desert night was cold and silent. Stars filled the sky like diamonds on black velvet. She walked behind the boulder out of Foster's sight. Then, as quietly as she could, she started running. The desert was dark, but the moon gave enough light to see by. Lily pulled out the crystal map. The red dot was close, just 2 miles ahead. She had to hurry before Foster realized she was gone. Behind her, she heard Foster calling her name. Then the sound of a car engine starting. Lily ran faster, scrambling over rocks and through dry brush. Her nurse's shoes weren't made for this, but she kept going. After 20 minutes of hard running, Lily came to a steep hill. She climbed to the top, her hands scraping on sharp rocks. When she reached the peak, she gasped. Below her, in a small valley, was an old mining facility. Its buildings were crumbling, covered in rust and sand. But in the center of the compound, something impossible stood. A massive ship, gleaming silver in the moonlight. It was shaped like a teardrop, smooth and perfect with no visible windows or doors. It had to be at least 300 feet long. "Zarovex," Lily whispered. This had to be where the alien queen had gone. She half ran, half slid down the hill toward the facility. As she got closer, she saw that the fence around the compound was broken in many places. Lily slipped through a gap and approached the ship. Up close, the vessel was even more impressive. Its surface seemed to shimmer and move like water reflecting light. Lily couldn't see any way inside. She walked around it, running her hand along the cool metal. "Zarovex," she called softly. "It's Lily, are you here?" Suddenly, a section of the ship's hull rippled like a pond disturbed by a stone. A doorway appeared where there had been smooth metal a moment before. Standing in the opening was Zarovex, but she looked different. The alien queen no longer seemed weak or injured. She stood tall and proud, her iridescent skin glowing with health. She wore a new outfit, a suit of armor that seemed made of living metal, flowing around her body like liquid silver. On her head was a crown of what looked like crystal and light. "Lily Morgan," Zarovex said, her voice rich and musical. "You followed my map. I had hoped you would. You look different," Lily said, stepping closer. "This is who I truly am," the queen replied. "The sovereign empress of the Arcturian Dominion. Now that I have access to my ship's medical facilities, I am restored to my full strength." She gestured for Lily to enter the ship. Inside, the walls glowed with soft blue light. The corridors were wide and curved, with no sharp angles anywhere. Everything looked organic, as if the ship had been grown rather than built. "This isn't the ship that crashed," Lily said, looking around in wonder. "No. This is the Stellar Tide, my personal battlecruiser." Zaravex led Lily deeper into the vessel. I hid it on your planet years ago, disguised as an abandoned human structure. The ship you saw crash was merely a transport vessel. They entered what had to be the command center. The circular room had no visible controls, just smooth walls and a large dome-like window that showed the desert outside. In the center was a pool of swirling liquid metal. Why did you leave without saying goodbye? Lily asked. I was worried. I received a signal from my people. The Keltid had found Earth's location. I needed to prepare. Zaravex placed her hand in the liquid metal pool. It rose up, forming shapes and patterns. I also needed to test you. Test me. How? By seeing if you would follow? If you would trust me enough to come alone. The Queen's three eyes studied Lily's face. You did not bring the government agent with you. That was wise, Lily frowned. You know about Agent Foster? I know your government has been watching the stars for decades. Some of your leaders know about the wider galaxy. They have made arrangements with certain powers. Zaravex's skin darkened. Not all of these arrangements favor your people. Before Lily could ask what that meant, they heard the sound of an engine outside. Through the dome window, they saw headlights approaching. The agent has found us, Zaravex said calmly. She said she wants to help, Lily offered. Maybe she does. We shall see. The door they had entered through rippled open again. Agent Foster stepped inside, her gun drawn. When she saw the command center and Zaravex in her royal armor, she stopped in surprise. This is not what I expected, Foster said, lowering her weapon slightly. Few expect the true might of the Arcturian Dominion, Zaravex replied. State your purpose, human. Foster holstered her gun slowly. I'm here to warn you. The Keltid aren't just looking for you anymore. They're preparing to attack Earth. Our deep space monitoring stations detected 6 warships entering the solar system 3 hours ago. Zaravex didn't seem surprised. They seek to draw me out by threatening your world. It is a common Keltid tactic. Can you stop them? Lily asked. The alien queen touched the liquid metal again. It formed into a map of the solar system, showing Earth and the moon. Red dots appeared, representing the Keltid ships. Not alone, she admitted. The stellar tide is powerful, but it cannot stand against 6 Keltid warships. What about your people? Foster asked. The Arcturians? I have sent a distress signal, but my fleet is scattered across 3 star systems. They would not arrive in time. Zaravex looked at Lily. This is the consequence of my presence here. Your world is now caught in a war it did not choose. Lily felt fear twist in her stomach. All of Earth was in danger because she had helped an injured alien in the park. There has to be something we can do, she insisted. Zaravex was quiet for a moment. Her 3 eyes closed in thought. Then she opened them and they glowed with new intensity. There is one possibility, she said. My contingency fleet. Contingency fleet? Foster repeated. When the war with the Keltid began, I hid ships on primitive worlds throughout this sector of the galaxy, worlds the Keltid considered too insignificant to monitor. Zaravex's hands moved through the liquid metal, changing the map. There are 3 such vessels hidden on Earth. The map zoomed in, showing 3 blinking blue dots on different continents. This facility houses one. The others are in your Arctic region and beneath an ocean you call the Pacific. Zaravex looked at Foster. Agent, does your government possess spacecraft capable of reaching orbit? Foster nodded slowly. Yes, nothing as advanced as yours, but we have rockets that could get there. Good. We will need every weapon available. The Queen turned to Lily. And we will need someone the ships will recognize as an ally, someone with Arcturian DNA on their skin. Lily realized what she meant. Me? What would I have to do? The ships require a genetic key to activate. They will detect my DNA on you and accept your commands. Zaravex placed a hand on Lily's shoulder, but it would mean joining this fight. Becoming part of a war across the stars. Foster stepped forward. Hold on. You want to send a civilian nurse into space to activate alien warships? That's insane. Is it more insane than allowing your world to be destroyed? Zaravex countered. The Keltid do not take prisoners. They do not negotiate. They consume. First, they will attack your military facilities, then your population centers. Within days, your civilization will fall. The room was silent except for the soft hum of the ship's systems. Lily looked at the map showing the red dots of Keltid vessels approaching Earth. This was bigger than her. Bigger than any one person. But someone had to make a choice. I'll do it, she said firmly. Tell me what I need to do. Foster shook her head. Lily, you don't understand what you're agreeing to. I understand that if I don't help, everyone I know could die. Lily turned to Zarovex. I helped you when you were injured. Now let me help my world. The alien queen's skin glowed with approval. You continue to surprise me, Lily Morgan. Your courage would honor the greatest Arcturian warriors. She touched the liquid metal again, and a small object rose from it. It looked like a bracelet made of the same flowing metal as the pool. This will connect you to the ships. It contains a sample of my DNA and will transmit your thoughts to the vessel's control systems. Zarovex placed it on Lily's wrist. The metal tightened comfortably, molding to her skin. Once activated, the ships will follow your commands as they would mine. So I just think at them? Lily asked, looking at the bracelet. The sky above New York City turned dark at noon. People stopped in the streets looking up. What they saw wasn't clouds. It was a massive ship, black and spiky, hovering silently over the skyscrapers. Smaller craft dropped from it like falling stars, descending toward the ground. Similar scenes played out over cities around the world. London, Tokyo, Sydney, Moscow. The Kelthid had arrived, and they made no attempt to hide. In a military bunker deep beneath the Nevada desert, Lily watched it all happen on wall-sized screens. Agent Foster had brought her here after they left Zarovex's ship. The bunker was filled with soldiers, scientists, and government officials, all looking scared. The Kelthid are making their move, Foster said, pointing to a map showing the alien ships' positions around the globe. They're not attacking yet, just showing themselves. They want to scare us, Lily replied. Zarovex said that's how they work. Fear first, then violence. A tall man in a general's uniform approached them. Ms. Morgan? I'm General Harris. I understand you've been in contact with another alien species. One that might help us, Lily nodded. The Arcturians. Their queen is preparing her ship now. And there are 2 more Arcturian vessels hidden on Earth. We need to get to them before the Kelthid do. The general looked skeptical. And you can control these ships? A civilian nurse? Lily held up her wrist, showing the metal bracelet Zarovex had given her. With this, yes. The ships will recognize me as an ally of the Arcturian queen. We've prepared transport to the locations the alien queen identified. Foster cut in. A submarine is en route to the Pacific site, and we have a military plane ready to take Ms. Morgan to the Arctic location. General Harris still looked doubtful, but he nodded. At this point, we'll try anything. The president has authorized full cooperation. He turned to Lily. Ms. Morgan, I don't know how you got involved in all this, but right now, you may be Earth's best hope. Lily thought about how this all started. A simple walk home through the park, stopping to help someone who was hurt. Now she was in a military bunker, preparing to activate alien warships to save the planet. Life could change so quickly. I'll do my best, she told the general. But I'm just a nurse who was in the right place at the wrong time. Sometimes that's all it takes to change history, Foster said quietly. An alarm blared through the bunker. One of the screens showed new images. The Kelthid ships were moving. One hovered over the White House in Washington. Another above the Kremlin in Moscow. Others positioned themselves over major military bases around the world. They're targeting centers of power, the general said grimly. Classic invasion strategy. A voice came over the radio. It was inhuman, with a strange clicking quality that made Lily's skin crawl. People of Earth, the voice said in accented but clear English. We are the Kelthid Imperium. We seek one who does not belong to your world. The Arcturian queen known as Zarovex. Surrender her to us and your planet will be spared. Resist and we will reduce your cities to ash. You have 3 of your hours to comply. The message repeated in different languages. The bunker fell silent as everyone processed the ultimatum. Can we find this alien queen they want? General Harris asked Foster. We know where she is, Foster replied. But surrendering her won't save Earth. The Kelthid are conquerors. Once they have what they want, they'll take the planet anyway. Agent Foster is right, Lily added. Zarovex told me about them. They've done this to dozens of worlds. They don't keep their promises. The general's face hardened. Then we fight. We'll use everything we've got. He turned to his staff. Order all military forces to prepare for engagement. Get our missiles ready. Foster shook her head. Sir, our weapons won't even scratch their ships. We need the Arcturians. Then get them, Harris snapped. Ms. Morgan, you're leaving for the Arctic in 5 minutes. Agent Foster will coordinate from here. He looked at Lily with intense eyes. The fate of our world may rest on what you do next. 30 minutes later, Lily was in a military jet flying north at top speed. The pilot, a woman named Captain Ellis, kept checking her radar. Kelthid ships are moving into the Arctic airspace, she reported. They must have detected something. They're looking for the same thing we are, Lily said. How much longer? 20 minutes to the coordinates. Lily touched the metal bracelet on her wrist. It felt warm against her skin. She hoped it would work the way Zaravex had said. The whole mission depended on it. Her thoughts were interrupted by a blast that rocked the plane. Captain Ellis swore and pushed the controls hard. We've got company, she shouted. Kelthid fighters, 3 o'clock. Lily looked out the window. 3 small black ships were following them, shaped like arrowheads. One fired a beam of red light that narrowly missed their wing. Hold on. Captain Ellis pushed the jet into a dive, then a sharp turn. The G-forces pressed Lily into her seat. I can't outrun them, but I can try to outfly them. For 5 terrifying minutes, the plane twisted and turned through the sky. The Kelthid ships were faster but less maneuverable. Captain Ellis used that to her advantage, making sharp turns that the alien craft couldn't match. But they couldn't keep dodging forever. One of the Kelthid beams struck their left wing. Smoke poured from the damaged engine. We're hit, Ellis shouted. We need to set down now. Below them was nothing but ice and snow. The vast white landscape of the Arctic stretched in all directions. Can we still reach the coordinates? Lily asked desperately. Ellis checked her instruments. We're close. Maybe 5 miles out, but we won't make it in the air. She guided the damaged plane toward the ice. The landing was rough, bouncing and skidding across the frozen surface. When they finally stopped, both women were bruised but alive. We need to move, Ellis said, grabbing emergency packs from a compartment. Those Kelthid ships will land to check for survivors. They climbed out of the plane into the bitter cold. The wind cut through Lily's clothes like knives. Ellis handed her a thermal jacket from the emergency kit. The coordinates are that way, the pilot said, pointing north. About 5 miles. We can make it on foot, but we need to hurry. They set off across the ice, the broken plane growing smaller behind them. The sky was clear blue, the sun bright but giving little warmth. After 20 minutes of hard walking, they saw the Kelthid ships land near their crashed plane. They'll track our footprints, Ellis said grimly. We need to move faster. They half ran, half walked across the frozen landscape. Lily's lungs burned with each breath of the frigid air. Her legs ached. But she kept going, thinking of all the people counting on her, of Earth itself counting on her. After 2 hours of grueling travel, they reached a wall of ice rising from the flat terrain. It looked like a glacier, tall and blue-white in the Arctic sun. The coordinates point to, inside that ice wall, Ellis said, checking her GPS device. Lily approached the glacier. As she got closer, her bracelet began to glow with a soft blue light. She held it up toward the ice wall. It's here, she whispered. The ship is inside the ice. She pressed her hand with the bracelet against the frozen surface. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ice began to melt, not dripping, but simply vanishing as if it had never been there. A doorway appeared, leading into darkness. That's impossible, Ellis breathed. Not impossible. Just Arcturian technology. Lily stepped through the doorway. Come on! Inside, the ice gave way to metal corridors similar to Zaravex's ship. Soft blue light came from the walls themselves. The air was surprisingly warm. They followed the corridors deeper into what had appeared to be a glacier from outside. Finally, they reached a large chamber with a pool of liquid metal in the center, just like the command room in Zaravex's ship. Now what? Ellis asked, looking around. Lily approached the metal pool. Her bracelet glowed brighter. Following her instinct, she plunged her hand, bracelet and all, into the liquid metal. It felt neither hot nor cold, just strange, like putting her hand into thick air. The liquid metal crawled up her arm, covering the bracelet completely. Then it retreated back into the pool. The ship hummed to life. Lights brightened. The walls themselves seemed to pulse with energy. A voice spoke in Lily's mind. Not in English or any human language, but somehow she understood it. Arcturian DNA recognized. Royal signature confirmed. Awaiting command. Lily took a deep breath. Wake up, she said aloud. Break free from the ice. We need your help. The ship trembled. The ice around them creaked and groaned. We should get back to the command center, Lily told Ellis. This whole place is about to move. They ran back through the corridors to the main chamber. Through a window that hadn't been there before, they could see the ice falling away as the ship rose. "It's working," Ellis exclaimed. Lily placed her hand in the liquid metal again. "Ship, can you hear me?" "Awaiting command," the voice in her mind replied. "Earth is under attack by the Keltid Imperium. We need to defend it. Connect with Zaravex on the stellar tide." The liquid metal formed images showing Zaravex's ship rising from the desert facility. Another image showed a third ship emerging from the Pacific Ocean, water cascading from its hull as it rose into the air. "All contingency vessels activated," the voice in Lily's mind said, "forming defense network. Stellar tide sending coordinates for rendezvous." Ellis was watching Lily with wide eyes. "Are you talking to the ship?" The battle began over the Atlantic Ocean. The 4 Arcturian ships led by Zaravex's stellar tide emerged from behind Earth's moon and attacked the nearest Keltid vessel. The element of surprise worked. Before the Keltid ship could raise its defenses, beams of blue energy from the Arcturian vessels cut through its hull. From her position in the command center of the Arctic ship, Lily watched the battle unfold in the liquid metal display. It was both beautiful and terrible. The Keltid ship, damaged but not destroyed, fired back with red beams that sliced through space. "One hit," the ship's voice said in Lily's mind. "Their weapons are powerful but slow to target." Captain Ellis stood beside Lily, her face showing both fear and awe. I never imagined I'd see anything like this." The 4 Arcturian ships moved in perfect coordination, as if they were one entity with 4 bodies. They circled the damaged Keltid vessel, firing from different angles. The black ship tried to escape, but the Arcturians were faster. After a final barrage of blue energy beams, the Keltid ship exploded in a ball of red fire. "First enemy vessel eliminated," the ship reported to Lily. "Remaining Keltid forces are responding. They are moving to defensive positions." In the liquid metal, Lily saw the 5 remaining Keltid ships breaking away from Earth's cities. They were gathering near the moon, forming a battle line. "They know we're here now," Lily said. "We've lost the element of surprise." "The stellar tide is transmitting new strategy," the ship replied. "Queen Zaravex commands that we divide our forces. 2 ships will engage the Keltid directly. 2 will circle behind to attack from the rear." "Which group are we in?" Ellis asked. Lily relayed the question to the ship. The answer came immediately. "This vessel will join the stellar tide in the frontal assault. The Pacific and desert vessels will circle behind." The ship accelerated, moving to join Zaravex's vessel. Through the window, Lily could see the sleek silver form of the stellar tide alongside them. Ahead, the 5 black Keltid ships waited, weapons ready. "Prepare for combat," the ship warned. "Artificial gravity may fluctuate during evasive maneuvers." Lily and Ellis grabbed handholds on the wall. Just in time. The ship suddenly dived, then spun in a way that would have been impossible for any human craft. Even with the artificial gravity, Lily felt her stomach lurch. The space around them lit up with energy beams, red and blue crisscrossing in deadly patterns. The Arcturian ships danced through the barrage, their movements fluid and precise. But the Keltid had numbers on their side. For every shot the Arcturians fired, 3 came back at them. "Our shields are holding at 80% capacity," the ship reported. "The stellar tide is drawing most of their fire." Lily looked at the liquid metal display. It was true. 4 of the 5 Keltid ships were focusing on Zaravex's vessel. The stellar tide's shields glowed brightly as they absorbed hit after hit. "They're targeting her specifically," Lily realized. "They know she's on that ship." As if in confirmation, a message from Zaravex appeared in the liquid metal. "The Keltid commander has recognized my ship," the alien queen's voice said in Lily's mind. "This was expected. We will continue to draw their fire while the other vessels move into position." The battle intensified. The Arcturian ships fired constantly now, their blue beams searching for weaknesses in the Keltid shields. One found its mark. A Keltid ship's engines exploded, sending it spinning away from the formation. "Second enemy vessel disabled," the ship reported. But the victory was short-lived. A concentrated barrage from the remaining Keltid ships struck the stellar tide. Even through the vacuum of space, Lily could see the impact. The Queen's ship shuddered, parts of its hull glowing red from the heat of the attack. "The stellar tide's shields are failing," the ship told Lily. "They have taken critical damage." Fear gripped Lily's heart. "Can we help them?" "Move to protect them." Attempting to reposition, their ship accelerated, trying to place itself between the wounded stellar tide and the Kelthid attackers. But they were too far away. Another hit struck Zaravex's ship, this one penetrating the weakened shields. A section of the silver hull broke away, venting atmosphere into space. The Queen's vessel is severely damaged, the ship reported. They cannot withstand much more. Suddenly, the liquid metal display showed two new ships appearing behind the Kelthid formation. The Pacific and desert vessels had completed their flanking maneuver. Now, Zaravex's voice commanded through the mental link. All 4 Arcturian ships fired at once, their blue beams converging on the Kelthid vessels from front and back. Caught in the crossfire, 2 more enemy ships exploded immediately. A third managed to turn, bringing its weapons to bear on the new threat. But it was too late. The combined firepower of the Arcturian fleet tore through its shields and hull. In less than a minute, the space around Earth's moon was filled with the drifting debris of 4 Kelthid ships. Only one remained, the largest of the fleet. It turned to flee. The Kelthid command ship is attempting to escape, the ship told Lily. Shall we pursue? Before Lily could answer, Zaravex's voice came through the mental link again. No, let it go. Let it return to the Kelthid Imperium with news of their defeat. Let them know that Earth is protected by the Arcturian Dominion. The remaining Kelthid ship accelerated away from Earth, its engines glowing red as it disappeared into the darkness of space. We won, Ellis whispered, her voice filled with disbelief. We actually won, but Lily was concerned about the damage to Zaravex's ship. We need to check on the stellar tide, the Queen might be hurt. Their ship moved toward the damaged vessel. Through the window, Lily could see that the stellar tide was in bad shape. Large sections of its hull were blackened or missing entirely. Its once smooth surface was now jagged and broken. Requesting permission to dock, Lily told her ship. Permission granted. The stellar tide's docking bay remains functional. Their ship maneuvered carefully alongside the damaged vessel. A door opened in the stellar tide's hull, allowing them to enter a large chamber. When the doors closed behind them, air filled the space. It is safe to disembark, the ship told Lily. She and Ellis left their ship and entered the stellar tide. The corridors were dimly lit, with emergency lights casting red shadows on the walls. In some places, the floor was tilted where the ship's structure had been damaged. They made their way to the command center. The door was jammed, but Ellis helped Lily force it open. Inside, they found chaos. Parts of the ceiling had collapsed. The large window was cracked, a temporary energy field holding the atmosphere in. And in the center of the room, beside the liquid metal pool, lay Zaravex. The alien queen was injured. Golden blood flowed from a wound in her side, much like when Lily had first found her in the park. But this time the injury looked worse. Lily Morgan, Zaravex said weakly as they approached. You have done well. Earth is safe, for now. Lily knelt beside the queen, examining the wound. You're hurt badly. We need to get you medical attention. My ship's medical facilities are damaged, and the wound is deep. Zaravex's skin had lost its iridescent glow, turning a dull gray. But do not concern yourself. The mission was successful. The mission isn't over until everyone is safe, Lily insisted. She opened the small medical kit she'd brought from Earth. It wasn't designed for alien physiology, but she had to try something. I didn't save you in that park just to let you die now. As Lily worked to stop the bleeding, Ellis used the liquid metal pool to contact the other Arcturian ships. They were all undamaged and stood ready to assist. The desert vessel has intact medical facilities, Ellis reported. If we can move the Queen there, it would be difficult but possible, Zaravex said. The docking systems still function. Lily wrapped the Queen's wound with bandages from her kit. They didn't do much, but they slowed the golden blood a little. We need to hurry. She's losing too much blood. Together, they helped Zaravex to her feet. The alien Queen was surprisingly light, but every movement caused her pain. Slowly, they made their way back to the docking bay where their ship waited. My people will come, Zaravex said as they walked. Now that the battle is won, I have sent a signal to the Arcturian fleet. They will arrive within days. That's good, Lily said, supporting the Queen's weight. Earth will need allies in space after this. They will have more than allies, Zaravex replied. They will have the protection of the Arcturian Dominion. Your world has earned it. They reached the docking bay and boarded Lily's ship. Once inside, they laid Zaravex on the floor near the liquid metal pool. The Queen placed her hand in it. sending commands to the other vessels. The ship detached from the stellar tide and moved to dock with the desert vessel, which had better medical facilities. During the short journey, Lily did what she could to keep the Queen stable. "You know," Lily said as she worked, "all of this happened because I decided to walk through the park that night. Because I stopped to help someone who was hurt." Zarovex's three eyes regarded her with what might have been a smile, a simple act of kindness that changed the course of galactic history. "Remember that, Lily Morgan. The smallest choices can have the greatest consequences." 3 days later, Lily stood before the United Nations in New York. Beside her stood Zarovex, fully recovered thanks to Arcturian medical technology.